Come here, Jim. And what's the magic word? He replied. Now. Ah. Sister's just what any 13-year-old lad wants is two bossy sisters. He got along okay with Kelly and Donna, but they always let him know who was boss. We, need you to do something for us, Kelly asked cautiously. Just ask, saying no is easy, he replied cockily. See, I said he'd be difficult. Donna looked upset and frustrated. Let's not beat about the bush. We have a problem. Our friend Jane was going to join us doing the Spice Girls tribute at the youth club concert next week. Yes, I've seen you practicing. She was baby, wasn't she? Yes, well, she only gone and got glandular fever and can't do it. That's a real shame. Can't you get a replacement? How can I help? The girls paused and smiled at him. Ooh, hang on, you don't think. I mean, you don't mean. Yes, you. You're the same size as Jane, you've seen us practicing, and you would be perfect. Well, apart from being a boy, but we can dress you up so no one would know. You want me to parade around a stage dressed as Baby Spice? Yes. No. Definitely not. Please, Jim, it would mean a lot to us, pleaded Donna. No. You see, I told you we were wasting our time. Mom said he'd never agree. Kelly shrugged her shoulders and turned away. Mom said, you've already asked her? Well, we could hardly produce her little boy as a girl without her permission, could we? Replied Donna. He hesitated. They were pushing all the right buttons. He could see they were disappointed about their concert appearance being spoilt. They had put a lot of effort into it. But of course his mother suggesting he wouldn't do something positively incited him to prove her wrong. Okay, Jim, thanks for listening. We'll have to see if we can find anyone else, but I doubt it at this stage. Donna looked sad. On one condition, he replied. What are you saying? On condition that I don't look foolish in front of people I know. Show me what I would look like dressed up like you are now and I decide then. The girls were wearing lycra bodies, short skirts and calf-length boots. Jim was proud of his attractive sisters and appreciated the care they took with their appearance. Right, we could get some of Kelly's clothes ready for you. You're not very far out size-wise. Just a minute. Kelly went through her lingerie drawer and produced a pair of black panties. Go and have a shower and wash your hair so we can style it. These are my gym briefs. Tuck Mr. Happy away and they'll smooth everything. He dutifully left the room, returned to his own bedroom and stripped off and dressed in his bathrobe and went and had the shower as requested. I never thought he'd go for it, said Kelly. I know. I think it was that bit we said about Mum saying he wouldn't do it that worked. Yes, she said that would clinch it. Are all men so easily manipulated? Not all, but it's nice to know female tactics can overcome sometimes. Jim completed his shower and didn't really consider the implications of his actions until he was toweling himself off and saw the panties he was to wear. The realization caused stirrings down below, and knowing he would never hide this from his sisters caused him to seek relief. The thought of what was to come seemed to arouse him, not what he had expected. When he was ready, he tucked his equipment away in the panties, and they did indeed hide away his maleness. He wrapped his long blonde hair in a towel and put his robe back on and went back to his sisters in Kelly's room. Excellent. We do appreciate this, Jim. Now sit here and I'll do your hair while Kelly shows you what we have for you to wear. You're not too hairy and we're only practicing, so we won't do any defuzzing. Jim sat and Donna handed him some chocolate brown opaque tights and showed him how to ease them up his legs. They covered the little hair he had and had a lovely silky feel to them and glimmered in the light. He sat properly and Donna began to comb out his hair. They had been confused for three girls when walking together, but Donna planned to put in bit of body with her curling tongues. Now Kelly fitted him into a black and lacy bra and filled the cups with tights. It was a modest cup size but felt very unusual to Jim. He was particularly aware to the mounds on his chest when Kelly pulled the brown cotton lycra body over his head. He could feel the elastic fabric following every form of his body and the poppers sealed him in. The neck had 2 buttons at the rear, and once these were done up it felt like a second skin. Kelly had craftily placed a bead in each of the bra cups, and the clinging fabric appeared to reveal a pair of pert nipples. Donna had dried and put a wave in his hair and now put a towel around his neck. He noticed they had covered the mirror to prevent him seeing the finished result. Donna now moved around to face him. I'm going to put on a little makeup just like we're wearing, nothing too jazzy, don't worry. She started with a light foundation and then a minimal application of brown eyeshadow and some eyebrow pencil to emphasize his eyes. She finished off with a pink lipstick. Kelly added pendant earrings and a matching necklace. Okay, can you stand up now? Donna handed him a very short suede skirt exactly the same as the two girls were wearing. He felt very exposed now. So this is what it's like for girls, he thought, although the clothes did feel very comfortable. He sat again and they handed him a pair of boots again similar to the ones they were wearing. They had to use a shoehorn to get them on, but once his feet were in and the zip pulled up, they felt amazing. The heel was only 2 inches, so he soon found his balance. Come over here, G. No, we can't call you that now, can we? How about Gemma? Said Donna. Gemma sounds good to me, said Kelly. Gemma it is then, said the transformed Jim, and he walked carefully across to Donna. Now close your eyes, young lady. He did so, and Kelly removed the cover from the mirror and joined them. Right, you can open them now. The first thing he said as he opened his eyes was 3 sisters. I don't recognize me. You win. Kelly, get your camera, I want to capture this moment, said Donna. Kelly quickly set the timer and set it to take 5 photos. They soon had them on the computer screen. Gemma was even more surprised by how naturally she fitted together with her sisters once she saw the pictures. Well, after all that excitement, I need a coffee. I'll put the kettle on, follow me down. Gemma hesitated and Kelly came and hugged her and gave her a kiss on the cheek. I'd just like to say thank you. It can't be easy for you to do this, and we do appreciate what you are doing for us. Thanks, Kelly, she replied. It feels so different. Boys' clothes just hang on, girls' clothes, particularly these, are very fitted and yet so light. Come on, I need that coffee too. Once they were downstairs, Donna had prepared the coffee and they went into the living room to drink it. Gemma was advised how to sit like a lady, smooth your skirt, keep your knees together. They chatted about how Gemma looked when they next had to practice the routine, and importantly how they should introduce their new band member to June, who was taking the scary spice role. In no time at all, a car drew into the drive and Kelly exclaimed, Mum's home. Don't worry, let's test her out, said Donna. Kelly, go to the kitchen and be reading a magazine at the table. Gemma, stay here in the lounge. Here's Cosmo to read, and I'll be coming down the stairs as she arrives. Gemma was left on her own for the first time, and her mother would see her. Would she be cross? Would she wonder what had happened to her son? She buried her face in the magazine and wondered what she'd got herself into. Mum breezed into the house carrying some shopping bags. Help me with the rest, girls. I need the bathroom, she called. Kelly rose, beckoning Gemma to come with her, and they went to Mum's Metro and brought in the rest of the bags. Mum, of course, then passed Donna on the stairs, said hello, and only once she'd finished did the penny drop. When she came down again, she called out with a smile on her face. Now I'm sure when I went out I only had 2 daughters. The girls were lined up in the living room. Well, what do you think? Asked Donna. Jim, how do you feel? Are you all right about this? This is Gemma, Mum, said Kelly. Of course, yes. Jim's not an appropriate name now. How are your darling? They've done a marvelous job on you. You could be 3 sisters. I'm okay, Mum. It feels unusual, but I'm fine. And will you help them with their show? I'll try. I know the routine, and when I saw how much it meant to them, I couldn't refuse. Well, I think it takes a strong man to do what you're doing. If you are at all unhappy, come to me and I will help you, or we'll call it off, okay? Thanks, Mum. This is just the start. I haven't seen anyone I don't know yet. I was outside before I knew what was happening. It was all right though. Good. Remember what I said. You are not to suffer from doing this. Now you have your next test in a few minutes. Dad will be home at 5 o'clock. He rang earlier and sounded excited. I think he may have something to tell us when he gets home. Come on, Gemma, said Kelly. Let's go for a walk and get you some practice walking in those boots. It's turning dusky outside, so no one will see you. Go on then, I have to try this. Good girl, let's get some coats and you'll need a bag. Now come on, we ladies don't have wallets in our breast pockets. Think how uncomfortable that would be. You can borrow one of mine. Soon after, Gemma and Kelly were walking down the road arm in arm. Why do girls do that? Thought Jim. This was most unusual. He had to balance in the unfamiliar boots, even though they were a modest heel. Keep the shoulder bag in place, with the extra body bits he now possessed, and cope with the feeling of vulnerability as the cool breeze played around his thighs. He had already found the clothes to be comfortable, and as they walked chatting aimlessly, he forgot about Jim and settled into Gemma. Kelly too relaxed and treated her new younger sister as if she had always existed. We'll just go around the block, if you are up to it. We'll get an evening paper at the Spar. I assure you, you are totally convincing. I keep forgetting who you really are. Okay, but stay close, Gemma replied. The young boy serving in the shop stared at them as Gemma worried he would, but she noticed how his gaze shifted about their bodies first before alighting on their faces. Kelly smiled as she watched Gemma, nervous at the attention she was receiving. There was no hint of discovery, and he smiled as the girls left the shop, no doubt hoping they would return. As they started back towards home, a Renault Scenic passed and the driver sounded his horn and waved. The car didn't stop and they exchanged puzzled glances. Neither knew anyone who drove such a vehicle. Friend of yours? Asked Kelly, laughing. Not yet, replied Gemma with a smile. When they returned home, the car was on their drive, and they approached, intrigued who the owner was. As they walked past the car, their father opened the front door. Well, Kelly, how do you like my new company car? He asked. 3 individual seats in the back. You can push that brother of yours out of the way. Come on, I'll show you. He's not recognized me at all, thought Gemma. Yes, it's lovely, Dad. Oh, by the way, this is my friend Gemma. I'm so sorry, forgot my manners. Welcome, Gemma. Donna has just been telling me you were out with Kelly. Would you like to hop in too? I'd like to see how much space there is with every seat filled. That son of mine chooses tonight to stay over at his mate's, honestly. Thank you, Mr. Woods. It's a lovely looking car, such a nice color. Let's play the girly card for all it's worth, she thought. Donna and their mother came out as father, still excited, unlocked the doors with the remote. This was so exciting for him. He had taken a chance with this new firm and they had promised a good new car if he passed a probationary period. He left his old Maestro at the scrapyard when he went to pick this car up. Watch how Donna and I get into the car, whispered Kelly. Remember to smooth your skirt as you sit and keep your legs together. That's a very short skirt you're wearing. Gemma followed Donna and Kelly's example. As soon as all were installed, Dad started the engine and off they went, just a quick ride around town. He was so excited and Gemma was so pleased for her father. She wanted to give him a hug but couldn't. The quick tour was soon over after they had been shown every gadget and feature. Gemma again watched her sisters and followed how they dismounted from the vehicle. I believe you are stopping over tonight, Gemma, and that's great as we are all going out for tea. It's a special do, paid for by my company, and I'd said I was taking my wife and 3 kids. If anyone asks, you're my 3rd daughter for tonight, if that's okay with you. I'm not sure I'm ready for this, thought Gemma. That's very kind, Mr. Woods, but I'm not sure if I should be imposing. Nonsense, my dear, it's our pleasure. Anyway, you know Donna and Kelly well, and you are with us tonight. We couldn't leave you behind, could we? Okay, ladies, we are going at 6:30. There's no need to change. You all look lovely as you are. Well, I'm not going out in my office uniform, said Mother. And we've got to freshen our makeup, said Donna. Definitely, added Kelly. Oh, all right then, soon as you can then, ladies. A house full of women, he thought. Where's your son when you need him? Wearing a skirt. He hadn't recognized Jim when he drove past Gemma and Kelly, but Donna and his wife had thought it best to tell him. It was his decision to string Jim along and pretend he didn't know. To be honest, unless he'd been told, he wouldn't have realized. He felt it would help Jim to develop his feminine side by going out tonight. He just wished his dad had been as kind with him. Donna and Kelly took Gemma upstairs and showed her how to cleanse her face and remove her makeup. "There's no time to change, but we'll freshen our looks," they said. They applied a more dynamic and sexy look for the evening. The colors were darker and mascara and eyeliner were used. A little blusher and then a rich red lipstick completed their work. They also painted her nails a matching red and left her to watch as they applied similar war paint. Gemma was quite surprised at the difference a little new makeup made to her appearance. Jim had completely disappeared and she was fascinated with her glowing nails. Soon the girls were ready and made their way down to the lounge. Their father had already changed. Their mother was soon down to join them. "Right, ladies, off we go." Their father was still excited as he led his family to his new toy and off to the country club hotel. It was growing dark now, but they laughed as they saw 5 other scenics lined up in the car park as they arrived. "Yes, I wasn't the only one to get a car today," he laughed. Gemma again followed her sister's lead in getting into and out of the car. It was relatively easy in this mini people carrier as long as she remembered what she was wearing. There were several family groups standing in the bar area, and Frank Woods made for his closest colleague Jim Forrest. Jim was also very pleased with his new motor as he had 3 strapping teenage sons, Kevin, James, and Nigel, to transport. They of course weren't thinking about cars when they saw Frank's family. Gemma hadn't realized the situation until she saw the boys' obvious delight. "Don't worry, they're only silly boys," whispered Donna. "Yes, but remember, I know what silly boys are like and they think I'm like you and Kelly. And what do you think we are going to let them do?" "Well, I don't know, but what do you think of us, little sister?" Kelly feigned a shocked expression. "I'm sorry, but events are coming at me thick and fast." "All right, Gemma, only teasing. We'll look after you." "They do look quite tasty though." Kelly hid her smile at her brother's discomfort. The 3 boys soon maneuvered themselves to be with the girls and engaged them in small talk. Kelly and Donna soon interrupted when Gemma was lost for words, and they enjoyed the company. Gemma felt a glow from the alcohol in the glass of wine she was given. She appeared much older than her 13 years when dressed like this and was not used to drinking apart from some small beers with her father at home. James, the youngest of the boys, was paying her particular attention. His brothers had moved in on Kelly and Donna. The firm had hired a separate room and the party moved from the bar and sat at large circular tables. There were enough seats for both families and the boys managed to place themselves between the girls. The fathers smiled, remembering their own teenage years, and the mothers kept a close eye on proceedings. James was 14 and while obviously keen on Gemma was inexperienced with girls and quite nervous, so she did not feel under any pressure. She kept up small talk with James through the meal and occasionally with the other brothers and their parents. The coffee was served and it looked like the MD was going to make a speech soon. It was a complete surprise for Gemma when she felt Kevin's hand on her thigh. She was shocked. He wasn't even looking in her direction. Her sisters didn't notice her distress and she sat frozen, not knowing what to do. She began to blush. James noticed. He knew his brother well and saw the position of his arm. "Just push his hand away," he whispered. Then more loudly, "Come on, Gemma, let's get a bit of air before the hot air starts." Kelly and Donna looked up, their eyes now showing concern, but Gemma smiled back to indicate that she was okay with this. Kevin looked a little sheepish, then returned his attention to Donna. James escorted Gemma from the room with his arm around her waist. Kelly and Donna were slightly concerned they were not looking after their new sister, and Donna decided she would check up in a few minutes. As James and Gemma left the room, they noticed a conservatory with the doors open onto a patio, and he steered her in that direction. There was a wooden bench and they sat down. "I'm sorry about my brother. He can't help himself." "It was nothing really, I'm just not used to that sort of attention," replied Gemma. Not used to it at all, thought the boy within. Well, I think you're really nice, but I wouldn't dream of being so forward. You don't mind being out here with me? My intentions are honorable, I assure you. Gemma smiled at James. He was trying so hard to be a perfect gentleman. I don't mind being out here with you. I am enjoying your company very much. It was a lovely night, but the air was cool and a sudden breath of wind made Gemma shiver. It was easy to forget what she was wearing didn't cover much. James Everett the gentleman took off his sports jacket and placed it around Gemma's shoulders. His touch made her forget completely the boy within, and as she turned to face him, the kiss followed automatically. A gentle, soft caress of the lips. The feeling was quite unlike any other she'd had. He was taller than she was. She felt so vulnerable and feminine as he bent down to kiss her. I'm sorry I took advantage. Please forgive me. James, surprised at his own forwardness, recoiled and sat back. I'll forgive you if you kiss me again. Gemma surprised herself with her reaction. James, surprised and yet delighted by this turn of events, obliged. There was more passion and less hesitation this time, and Gemma felt her lips parted by his probing tongue. Looking out of the patio toward the couple, Donna and Kelly stood open-mouthed with astonishment. We've created a monster, whispered Kelly. What will we do? Well, they look happy enough to me, replied Donna. Don't be silly. What if Mom or Dad see? We'll have to politely interrupt. And with that she coughed loudly. James and Gemma pulled back instinctively and tried to look like they had just been sitting talking. Fooling no one, of course. Come on, you two, the speeches are about to start, called Kelly. James and Gemma came back into the building. She handed him his jacket as her sisters smiled wickedly. James smiled weakly as they led Gemma to the ladies' room. Why have we come in here? Asked Gemma. To repair your lipstick, you brazen hussy. But why? We saw you eating poor James alive. Oh, did he force you? Well, no, it just happened. I don't know. You put him in a skirt and 5 hours later he's snogging the boys, commented Donna. The reference to Gemma's real persona broke the spell she was under, and she suddenly realized who she was, where she was, and how she was dressed. She immediately burst into tears. Now look what you've done, Donna. Kelly was furious with her sister. Gemma wept. She had become one with her feminine character, and the rude awakening after the beautiful moment with James had been a shock. Take me home. I can't do this, cried Gemma. Now steady, you know Dad can't leave now, he's about to get an award, you know. Kelly was kind and sympathetic. Donna, you go back, we'll catch up with you in a minute. Sorry, Gemma, I didn't mean to be cruel. Donna kissed Gemma and left. A lady came into the washroom and seeing Gemma asked, What's wrong? It's okay, replied Kelly. Just time of the month troubles. Oh, it can be hell at first, dear, but don't worry, it gets better. Oh my, look at your makeup, what a state. Now sit here and I'll fix you up. No, it's okay, I'll manage, replied Gemma. I insist. We ladies must stick together. Now what's your name? I'm Allison. Gemma. I thought that maybe that boy you left the room with had upset you. No, he's a real gentleman. Good, I'm pleased, he looks like a real catch. Gemma smiled for the first time. That's better, now let's clean you up. Allison wiped her face with some cleansing tissue whilst Kelly looked on. Then she reapplied the makeup and showed Gemma her work in the mirror. Somehow Gemma felt her tension released and she hugged Allison. She did really like being a girl. Thank you, I feel a lot better now. Good, go and get that boy, replied Allison. Thanks from me too, I couldn't have done the makeup that well, said Kelly. Look after your little sister, they're so much better than brothers. Now come on, the speeches start soon. Gemma smiled at Kelly, who was resisting laughing out loud, and they returned to the function room. James smiled broadly as they returned and Donna looked very relieved. They took their seats as the lights went down. Kelly noticed how James maneuvered his chair to be alongside Gemma, and his arm was soon around her waist and hers around his. Fortunately, the forest slid some way away, so there wasn't a problem with James being able to find out the truth. Gemma's father had to tell James's dad that she was in fact his niece, as he had talked of having a son and 2 daughters in the past. James and his brothers came to see the Spice Girls in their concert, and he accompanied his girl at the disco afterwards. The girls stayed in the Spice costumes, so Gemma was flouncing about in all white with Stack's-old shoes, a short dress and a blonde wig in bunches. She felt ridiculous but had a good time. James thought it very amusing as the shoes raised her up to his height. Now the concerts were over, there were decisions to be made. Where would Gemma go? Would she return? Donna and Kelly were sure she would. James certainly wanted her to be around.